1967 Masters Golf Tournament. This is golf as we know it today. No one knows who the first golfer was. Chances are he was a shepherd who accidentally batted a stone with his staff into a nearby hole. In Holland in the Middle Ages, the Dutch played a game on frozen canals called golf. However, historians generally agree that golf as we know it originated in Scotland as long ago as 5 centuries. 200 years ago, golfers wore red jackets. They used wooden-headed clubs to hit a ball that was stuffed with feathers and encased in leather. The first golf club was established in 1744, the Honorable Company of Edinburgh Golfers. St. Andrews formed its club 10 years later. The club is now known as the Royal and Ancient and is the official governing body of British golf. Youthful Americans became interested in golf when the United States Open Championship was won in 1913 by a 20-year-old youngster, Francis Ouimet. Golf really came of age, however, in the 1920s because of the great impetus supplied by another amateur golfer named Robert Tyre Jones, Jr. Golf has continued to grow at an astonishing rate in America and the world. The old Scottish game has become everybody's game. No other golfing event dramatizes the stature of today's game quite as well as the Masters, held at the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia. Truly, one of the most beautiful courses in the world. Inaugurated in 1934, the Masters, in 3 decades, has grown from a modest, informal tournament into one of world leadership quality. Thursday, opening day of the 1967 Masters Tournament. The Masters has come to be regarded as the unofficial opening of America's summer golf season. In addition to the players from the United States, this year's field of 83 participants includes representatives from 12 foreign countries. From South Africa is Gary Player, a past winner of the PGA, the U.S. Open, the British Open, and the Masters. Luis Silverio from Manila, the young amateur who won last year's Philippine Open. Ramon Sota from Spain. Hideo Sugimoto from Japan. Gary Cowan from Canada, the current United States amateur champion. As usual, this year's invitees to the Masters range in experience all the way from 18-year-old Bobby Cole from South Africa, the current British amateur champion, to veterans of the most illustrious order, such as Ben Hogan and Sam Snead. Fishing, an ardent angler. Sam likes to test the well-stocked ponds at Augusta National's par 3 course when not playing or practicing. It's a warm, brilliant morning, a day for a second showing of Easter bonnets, meeting old friends. On the first tee, the Masters begins by tradition with honorary starters Fred McLeod and Jock Hutchison, whose ages are respectively 84 and 82. Freddie here won our Open Championship 59 years ago. Jock, a mere broth of a boy by Freddie's standards, won the British Open in 1921. Good hit, laddie. On the second hole, Gene Littler is in trouble. That is, he was in trouble. Bruce Devlin in the scrubs at 12, fighting to stay even par. And this, after holding out on the par 5/8 for an incredible double eagle 2. On the par 3/6, Gay Brewer. This green is undulated to an unusual degree. It's getting hot now, close to 90, and the greens are taking on the speed of billiard tables. Yes, well stroked. That birdie two puts Brewer 2 under par. Brewer was one of 2 players who lost in the playoff to Jack Nicklaus last year. At 12:30, the defending champion, definitely the man to beat, comes to the first tee. For someone off his stick lately, Jack looks confident and optimistic. With the driver, Jack is the biggest of the big. He can rock the earth. But not this time. That drive is hooking into the trees. He'll have to play an intentional hook to hit the green. No, he's going for a bogey on the very first hole. As always in the Masters, someone breaks away from the pack in the early stages. This year, that considerable feat is being brought off by 28-year-old Bert Yancey, former West Point cadet, making his debut in this championship. Approaching the 15th green, he stands 4 under par. His putt is all of 50 feet. No, he's going to be short. A good 6 feet short. This young man plays with the deliberation of a veteran. Now for his birdie putt. He made it. 5 under with 3 holes yet to be played. Yancey finishes with 3 pars, which gives him a 67, 5 under par for the day. No hole at Augusta National has caused more Masters to be won or lost than the terrifying 13th. Arnold Palmer shows how it ought to be played from the tee. Perfect position. With wood in hand, Arnie characteristically gambles on carrying the creek. Will it be long enough? Nope, it goes into the creek. Well, even Arnie can be human. After lifting the ball for a 1-stroke penalty, he drops the ball over his shoulder in the required fashion. Palmer is playing 4 now, using his pitching wedge. With not much green to play to, the pitch skids past the flagstick for a bogey 6. More trouble at 13 green. This time it's 22-year-old Tony Jacklin from England. What a beautiful pitch. Watch this chap carefully. He's going 2 under here. Tony is also making his first appearance in the Masters. More trouble at 13. Doug Sanders, having an erratic day, finds himself competing with the azaleas high to the left of the green. An inventive sort of a player, Doug manages to bop the ball onto the putting surface and watch it trickle to within 12 feet of the flagstick. Can he manufacture a birdie 4 out of all this? He can. At 2 under par on the 17th, National Open champion Billy Casper tries for 3 under and misses. Over the green at 17, again, young amateur Downing Gray attempts to stay 2 under. That unmistakable gentleman in the knickers, of course, is the evergreen Gene Sarazen. A fine run-up. Still 2 under. After getting a par on 18, Gray is tied for 2nd place at the end of the 1st round with Bill Casper, both 3 strokes behind Yancey. The unique scoring system at the Masters enables the spectator to tell at a glance the relative standing of the leaders at any moment. Red numerals denote the number of strokes under par a player stands at that hole. Green numerals, the number of strokes over par. A green 0 means he is even. This year, the Masters was honored by a visit from John G. Blackwell, captain of the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St. Andrews, Scotland. The RNA rules are applied in most every golfing country in the world with the exception of the United States. By custom, a dinner is given each year for the amateur contestants in the Masters. Captain Blackwell is the special guest of tournament chairman Clifford Roberts. Friday, round 2 of the Masters. Bobby Nichols, an early starter, finds himself with a testing recovery, his third shot, behind the green at 14. Using his pitching wedge. Bobby is 3 under at this point. And he stays there. Playing to 3 green, Bert Yancey has stretched his lead to 6 under par by birdieing the second. His high pitch is covering the flag. A fine, aggressive shot 11 feet from the cup. This putt can put him 7 under. Tony Jacklin, 6 strokes off the leader, going all out on the 555-yard second, longest hole on the course. He's skirted the bunker, but the shot is strong. He's got a long, long chip to the flagstick. From there, he makes his birdie to go 2 under. One of 5 holes on which water is a factor is the lovely 16th, par 3, 190 yards. George Archer lofts an iron toward the green. Archer is 5 under for the day and really challenging Yancey. This putt to bring him 1 stroke from the leader. Not quite enough. Back on 10, Tony Jacklin has stuck himself in jail. That tree is right in the middle of his backswing. Sometimes in this game, you just have to make up a shot. After a bogey on a 10 and a par at 11, Jacklin plays an iron to the windy 12th. That's very close. Putting for his 2. Now 4 under. On the 30th hole, Jacklin has moved 1 stroke ahead of Yancey, who's bogeyed himself to 3 under. On 15, Palmer lying 3. This putt to go even par. Just not Arnie's day. Bert Yancey plays his 3rd to 15 green, leading the field at 5 under. A 10-footer here. Boy, these greens are fast. 6 under. Yancey now stands 2 strokes up on Jacklin, 3 on Nichols and Boros. Playing behind Yancey, Gay Brewer on 15. He's got Palmer's putt. But he makes it. 2 under for the day, 1 under for the tournament. Jack Nicklaus at 16. This is a very bad day for Jack. He's going for a bundle. A hot breeze blows Yancey's second shot over 17. A light pitch back to a smidgen of green. Beautiful. This to stay 6 under. No, make that only 5. The crowd moves to the dogleg 18th, a par 4. After a spot of tee trouble, Tony Jacklin plays his 3rd, a pitch and run. This 3-footer can leave him 4 under. Back on the 18th, in the rough, Yancey. A cool recovery. A try for his par. No, the second bogey in a row. A 5, but he still holds the lead at 4 under. At 3 under, Brewer arrives at 18 green. Gay has come a long way in golf. Years ago, he once caddied for Ben Hogan. As Yancey watches from the sidelines, Brewer attempts the putt that could tie for the lead. It breaks sharply to the right, and the undisputed lead goes to Bert Yancey, now commanding the Masters after 2 days of battle. At 3 under, 1 stroke behind Yancey, are Gay Brewer, Tony Jacklin, Julius Boros, and Bobby Nichols. At 2 under, George Archer. At 1 under, Doug Ford and Tommy Aaron. And with a horrendous 7 over, Jack Nicklaus, the defending champion, is out of the tournament, having failed to survive the cut. Saturday, round 3, and another perfect day for golf. A gracious Jack Nicklaus is in the unaccustomed role of a spectator, as the great Masters galleries gather for a tournament that almost anybody can still win. On the very first hole, Arnie's Army forms as their general goes for a birdie 3. Second fairway, third shot, wedge in hand. Arnie could stop an iron shot on a cake of ice. From 9 feet, going for a birdie 4. To the right of the second green, Ben Hogan with his wedge. From 2 feet. Another 54-year-old with the yips is Sam Snead, who solves his problem by putting croquet style.
Get in there. Oh.
After 5 straight pars, Gay Brewer plays an iron to the par 3 6th. It's dead on line. Going for his 2 now. That ball didn't want to go in, but it had to. 4 under and tied with the leader. To the 8th green come Bobby Nichols and Julius Boros, both 3 under. Boros lies 3. A birdie 4. Nichols lies only 2 putting for an eagle. Dead center, and Nichols takes over the lead at 5 under. Minutes later, fantastic news on the leaderboards. Brewer has caught Nichols, and Ben Hogan has unbelievably birdied 10, 11, 12, and 13 to come into the battle. On the 10th, Jacklin, 2 under, is in distress. He's 100 yards short of the green, playing 3. Well, that solves that problem. Bert Yancey hitting to the short but treacherous 12th. Good line. but too strong. This is a green anybody can miss. Bert has decided not to chip, but instead to run the ball up with his putter. No, that won't get the job done. Yancey slips to 3 under. On 13, Yancey is bunkered. He thought he had holed it. After a par on 14, Yancey faces a 9-footer on 15. Back again to 5 under. All eyes turn now to 18 and Ben Hogan, still 5 under for the day. Flawless, as usual. A standing ovation from the gallery for Ben Hogan. A geriatric miracle, Hogan was leading money winner in this country the year Jack Nicklaus was born. He has won 4 U.S. Opens, 2 Masters, 2 PGA Championships, and on his first and only try, the British Open. 2 putts for a 67, 20 feet, and all downhill. It's in, a 66, low round of the tournament so far, and Ben is only 3 strokes off the pace. Hogan's admirers, and that means everyone present today, have clapped the skin off their palms. Now, at the age of 54, he has tied the record score of 30 on the back 9 of the Augusta National. On 18, half an hour later, Palmer finds himself bunkered. A tough explosion here, the pin right on top of him. A touchy 9-footer. No, sir. And Arnie finishes the day at 216, even par. Boris on the 18th tee, now 4 under. He's using a 3-wood to avoid the new fairway bunker on the left. Perfect position, right center. Bobby Nichols now also using his spoon, even with Boris at 4 under. It's hooking. Into the crowd on his left. A good 200 yards or more to the green. Nichols has his work cut out for him. Odd feet above the flagstick. Change that, 16 feet. Boris now with a 6-iron. No, not enough club. Boris, master of the wedge. Nichols' turn now. Both Boris and Nichols finish 5 under, tied for the lead at the end of 54 holes with Bert Yancey. 2 strokes behind them at 213 are Gay Brewer, and with his memorable 66, the great Ben Hogan. At 214, George Archer. At 215, Tony Jacklin. Sunday, the 4th beautiful day in a row, and everybody is ready for the final round. Behind the clubhouse, a few of the British golf writers and friends gather to predict the winner.
It's Gay Brewer.
I think I should pick old Boris.
I rather think that this evening that Jack Nicklaus will put the green jacket on the massive, comfortable frame of old Julius Boris.
And I won't shed any tears if wonderful old Ben wins for you.
And Ben Hogan receives the special ovation Augusta Galleries reserve for him as play gets underway. Now on the tee, the pros pro. In the following twosome, Bobby Nichols, first off among the leaders. After a thunderous tee shot, Nichols has only a 9-iron to the green. "22 feet from the flag. While Gay Brewer, his co-leader, looks on, Nichols goes for a birdie. What a start, 6 under, and the lead now belongs to Bobby Nichols. Trouble on the second hole. Bill Casper is in shallow water. Good out. Playing to the second green, Palmer has hit a wood into wedge territory, downhill to a slippery green. He'll have to pull a trick out of his bag here. Fabulous recovery. From 2 feet for his birdie 4. As they say, it's an humbling game. Arnie has been playing steady golf, but his putts just are not dropping when he wants them to. Chipping from the right of 2 green, Gay Brewer. He's the length of a bowling alley from the pin. What a touch. Coming to 6, Julius Boris, 5 under par. That's about as close as you can get today. Bert Yancey running up with his putter. He got a piece of it and he stays 5 under. Boris going for a birdie 2. 6 under and tied with Nichols. Gay Brewer plays a wedge from the right of 7 fairway. His ball is lying on a patch of hardpan, meaning he'll have to nip it just right. How's that for backspin? For his 3, a putt that will swing to the left. 5 under, 1 stroke behind Boris and Nichols. After taking the lead with a birdie on 8, Nichols faces a 60-foot putt on the 9th. A magnificent approach, 1 foot from the cup. After 2 quick bogeys, Boris arrives at 10 green back to 4 under. His approach putt at the 10th is 40 feet long, the kind you're happy just to get close. This man is sometimes referred to as the Moose, but he possesses the touch of an artist. Playing to 11, Boros begins the amen corner, 11, 12, and 13. There's no doubt about that being in the water hazard. He'll have to take a penalty. After a mediocre pitch, Boris seems destined for a double bogey 6. But he yanks a 5 out of the fire with another uncanny putt. To the 12th, the hole the pros fear the most. It bounds well back of the green and Boris is forced to chip. A very uncharacteristic shot for Julie. Can his putter save him again? Not this time. Oh no, and Boris loses 2 strokes to par. He's unlikely to get back. After a mighty drive to the par 5/15th, Palmer goes for the pin with an iron. He covers the flagstick all the way. An eagle here can bring Palmer to within a not insurmountable 2 strokes of the leaders. He really thought he had that one. And another one of Arnie's improbable charges has failed to come off. It's a 3-man race now. Yancey, Nichols, and Brewer are all 5 under. On 13, Bert Yancey needs desperately to get down in 2 from 65 feet for a birdie 4. He completely misjudges the speed of the green. Now for his crucial second putt. The ball peeks in and decides to stay out. Yancey now falls an invaluable stroke off the pace. A very disappointed young man. Back to 14 green. Brewer faces a longish putt to go 7 under. He cans it and goes 2 strokes in front of Bobby Nichols, his playing partner. Bobby has an 8-footer to go 6 under. And he gets his. Playing to 15. Brewer is now 2 strokes up on Yancey, 1 stroke up on Nichols. Hogan has 3-putted himself out of contention, and nobody else has a conceivable chance to win. It's still a 3-man race. Throwing caution to the wind, Brewer goes for the green on 15 with a full wood. It's on line, but can't hold the green going downwind. Nichols decides to go for the right side of the green with an iron. He manages to hold the putting surface. Brewer faces an uncertain pitch that must land short of the green and trickle on. There just was no other shot. From 55 feet, Nichols has a tough one. Will it be enough? Brewer must hold this to maintain that 1-stroke lead. 8 under. After Brewer and Nichols both par 16, Yancey goes to the same hole, still desperately in search of a birdie. But he bunkers his tee shot. He'll have to get this very close or he's virtually out of the running. Too strong, and the ball slides slowly away from the cup. Everybody moves to 17 green for the fight to the finish between Gay Brewer and Bobby Nichols. After hitting a tree with his tee shot, Brewer was forced to go for the green with a 4-wood, which he left just short of the putting surface. He faces an ominous chip of at least 80 feet. A really elegant chip. On and two. Nichols has a 20-footer to catch Brewer. Good try. For his par now. Bobby has an incongruously dainty touch for a man built like an oarsman. Now for the toughest putt there is, a 3-footer when you have to hole it. To the 18th tee now. Brewer concentrating on holding his lead by staying out of trouble. Nichols gambling with everything for a birdie 3 he can tie with, possibly win with. As every tournament player well knows, anything can happen in golf. The gallery swarmed to the final fairway, lining it on both sides from tee to green. There is no gathering of true golfing fans quite like the one that watches the climax at a Masters tournament. Brewer's honor. He's decided to use his 3-wood for safety's sake. He could not have positioned it any better by hand. Nichols goes all out for the big one with his driver, first making sure that his hands are dry. He put all the wood he could into that one. As Brewer ponders his club selection, his wife Carol Lee waits nervously at the 18th green. He goes with a 6-iron. It was not a choice he regrets. Nichols, now with only a 9-iron shot, takes a beat on the flagstick. It's wide, but he has that chance for the all-important birdie putt. An ovation from the wonderfully nonpartisan gallery for the 2 young gentlemen from Kentucky, friends since boyhood. The stage is set between friendly rivals. Nichols is away, and he decides on another scrutiny of the line. There'll be no laying up with this putt. No, he just didn't have it figured out properly. Brewer now from 16 feet. Short, but he assuredly didn't want to go past. An uphill 2-footer for the most important title of his golfing life. He's made it. The 1967 champion of the Masters is 35-year-old Gay Brewer. Second, only one heartbreaking stroke behind, is Bobby Nichols. I played as well as I know how, Bobby was to say later, but it just wasn't good enough. Gay leaves all the emoting to wife Carol Lee. Nancy Nichols, all but overcome herself, rushes over to congratulate the Brewers. Bobby Nichols attests the winning scorecard. With rounds of 73, 68, 72, and a pressurized 5-under par final round of 67, Gay Brewer's winning score for the 72 holes is 280, 8 under a demanding par. It's hard to imagine a more popular champion as the fans show while Gay and Carol Lee work their way to the cart that will take them to the presentation ceremonies. Finishing in 3rd place at 284 is Bert Yancey. 1 stroke behind him is Arnold Palmer. At 286, Julius Boris. At 287, Gary Player and Paul Harney. And at 288, even par, Lionel Hebert and Tommy Aaron. The traditional presentation ceremony at every Masters tournament is held behind the Augusta National's handsome old clubhouse. By custom, the new champion is helped by last year's champion into the green jacket emblematic of victory. The club president, Bob Jones, looks on with approval, while Gay Brewer tells the tournament patrons what it feels like to become, for the first time, a Masters champion.